Hello everyone. This video is in continuation of the previous video on application of residues. In this video we are going to see one more application of residues, that is integral of the form integral minus infinity to infinity fx dx, where fx is px by qx, where px and qx are polynomials and the degree of px is less than the degree of qx at least by 2. Okay, now to solve this kind of integral we are going to consider the complex integral pz by qz dz over c, where c is a simple closed curve consisting of a semicircle c1 of radius r with center at origin and a part of real axis from minus r to r. You can see the diagram. So it is a closed curve consisting of c1 and minus r to r. Okay, so we can write this integral pz by qz dz over c as integral pz by qz dz over c1 plus integral pz by qz dz from minus r to r. Okay, now there is a theorem that we are going to use for further calculation. So it states that if px and qx are polynomials and if the degree of px is less than the degree of qx at least by 2, then limit r tends to infinity integral pz by qz dz over c1 is 0. Note that this c1 is same as the c1 that is being defined above. So now letting r tends to infinity in equation number 1, we will get limit r tends to infinity integral pz by qz dz over c, which is equal to 0 by theorem, plus limit r tends to infinity minus r to r p of x plus iy divided by q of x plus iy dx plus I dy. I am replacing z by x plus iy. Now this integral minus r to r, in this integral we are moving along real axis, and along real axis y is 0, so dy will also be 0. So we will finally get integral px by qx minus infinity to infinity dx. Okay, now let us understand what is the left hand side of this equation that we have got. So as r tends to infinity, this c will cover the whole upper part of the plane, correct? Because c is consisting of a semicircle of radius capital R and some part of real axis from minus r to r. So as you move r tends to infinity, then you will be able to cover the whole upper part of the plane, correct? So we'll get this integral minus infinity to infinity px by qx dx is equal to integral pz by qz dz over c infinity. This c infinity just denotes the limiting process of that c. Okay, but this is equal to 2 pi I into sum of residues of pz by qz lying in the upper half of the plane. Now why this is true? This is because of Cauchy residue theorem. Okay, now we are ready to face the problem. So let us move to the first problem. Okay, the problem is to solve this integral. Okay, now for this we consider a simple closed curve C consisting of a large semicircle with center at origin in the upper half of the plane and its diameter on the real axis. Okay, now as the degree of the numerator is less than the degree of the denominator at least by 2, so the condition is satisfied that is required for calculation. Okay, so this integral is equal to 2 pi I into sum of residues of z square plus z plus 2 divided by z raised to 4 plus 10 z square plus 9 lying in the upper half of the plane. Now the poles of the function z square plus z plus 2 divided by z raised to 4 plus 10 z square plus 9 are at the points where the denominator becomes 0. Now the denominator is becoming 0 at I, minus I, 3i and minus 3i, and these are simple poles. Now out of these, I and 3i lies in the upper half of the plane. So we will find residues only at these 2 points. So residue at I is 1 plus I plus divided by 16i, correct? and residue at 3i is 7 minus 3i divided by 48i. Okay, you can see the calculation. Okay, so by Cauchy residue theorem we'll get this integral, that is real integral, is equal to 2 pi I into sum of the answer that we have got of residues. So the answer is 5 pi by 12. Okay, now let us move to the next. Okay, so now here we have to evaluate the integral 0 to infinity x square divided by x raised to 6 plus 1 dx. Note here that the integral is not of the type that we were discussing, but observe that as x square divided by x raised to 6 plus 1 is an even function, so this integral is equal to half times the integral minus infinity to infinity. So yes, now we can solve this problem. Okay, now to solve this right hand side part, we are going to see the similar kind of calculation. Okay, so consider a simple closed curve C consisting of a large semicircle with center at origin in the upper half of the plane and its diameter on real axis. So here the degree of numerator is less than the degree of denominator at least by 2. So yes, we can apply that and we'll get integral minus infinity to infinity x square divided by x raised to 6 plus 1 dx is equal to 2 pi I into sum of residues of z square divided by z raised to 6 plus 1 lying in the upper half of the plane. Now the poles of the function z square divided by z raised to 6 plus 1 are at the points where z raised to 6 plus 1 becomes 0, denominator becomes 0, but this z raised to 6 plus 1 becomes 0 at these many points. There are 6 such points and all are simple poles. Okay, so the poles lying in the upper half of the plane are z is equal to e raised to pi I by 6, e raised to 3 pi I by 6 and e raised to 5 pi I by 6. It is easy to observe. Pi by 6 means we are at angle 30, so we are in upper half of the plane. 3 pi by 6 means we are at 90 degree, again we are at upper half of the plane, and 5 pi by 6, that is 150 degree, so again we are at upper half of the plane. So now let us denote one of the poles as z0. Okay, so residue at z0 will be limit z tends to z0, z minus z0, z square divided by z raised to 6 plus 1. Now if you try to solve this limit, then it will be of 0 by 0 form, so we can apply L'Hopital's rule. So we'll get limit z tends to z0, z minus z0 into 2z plus z square divided by 6z raised to 5. Now as you move z tending to z0, you will get 1 by 6 z0 cube. So if you fix any pole z0, then residue at that z0 will be 1 by 6 z0 cube. Okay, so this integral 0 to infinity x square by x raised to 6 plus 1 dx will be half times integral minus infinity to infinity x square by x raised to 6 plus 1 dx, which will be pi I into 1 plus, you can see that z0 is different, so we'll add all three. So we'll get pi I by 6 multiplied by 1 by e raised to pi I by 2 plus 1 by e raised to 3 pi I by 2 plus 1 by e raised to 5 pi I by 2. But by Euler formula, e raised to I theta is cos theta plus I sin theta, and we also know that 1 by cos theta plus I sin theta is cos theta minus I sin theta. So we can apply that and we'll get this. Okay, now in the next step we'll get pi I by 6 minus I plus I minus I. So we'll be left with minus I in the bracket. So the answer is pi by 6. Okay, thank you.